So what's the end game in Libya? How far will the U.S. go to stop Gaddafi? Joining me from Little Rock, Arkansas, CNN contributor, retired General Wesley Clark. General, thank you for being with us here. The U.S. now, as you know, engaged in war number 3. You have Iraq, Afghanistan, and now Libya. We heard from General Ham just moments ago in that press conference, and he said there was no communication, no American boots on the ground, no official communication with the rebels in Libya. Do we know who we're working with here when you think about a post-Gaddafi regime? Do we even know who these folks are who might be open to discussions, to a new government, to a new future in Libya?
Well, we know some of them, Suzanne, because Secretary of State Clinton met with them. There's some Libyan opposition headquarters setting up in Washington, for example. So these people are available, but we're not sure exactly who they represent or what their real agenda is. And it may be a mixed agenda. There may be some very reputable people in there. There may be some others that we would have concerns about. We don't know that. But what we do know is that the military action has accomplished its major purpose. It's stopped Gaddafi. Now, I'm concerned about what's happening in Misrata today because we've heard that his security forces are going house to house and terrorizing people and pulling them out and so forth. Of course, he's going to consolidate his gains. So I believe a UN Security Council special representative to the Secretary General has been appointed. I'm told this was the former foreign minister of Jordan. We should be hearing from him. It's really a UN problem at this point, and they should be addressing this with Mr. Gaddafi. I would like to see the UN in on the ground, talking to Gaddafi, stopping this internal security effort that's going on in these cities to eliminate his opposition, and then we should be looking at both a war crimes investigation of Gaddafi and his forces and a movement toward democratic elections for all of Libya. That's the right end game. If Gaddafi says his people love him, well, good. If he's not a criminal, maybe they can vote for him.
Well, one of the things that concerned me when I heard General Ham, he said that they don't know where Gaddafi is, and that hasn't really been their priority. Should that be a priority? Should the United Nations, should the U.S. be looking for him and figuring out what his next move is?
Well, we should be thinking about, what could go wrong with the operation. But no, we don't care where Gaddafi is, really. We're not trying to bomb him. We're not trying to take him out. It's not personal against him. The UN Security Council resolution said protect innocent civilians. But I think, we need some more leadership out of the United Nations and in the United Nations. And really, we have to really pay attention to that, because that's really the cockpit of decision here. It's what's the next step? Okay, you've got the major military movements halted. You need to halt the internal security cleanup effort that Gaddafi has underway. A strong message from the UN Secretary General's Special Representative could probably help in that regard. And then you need to figure out what's the end game. Is it 2 Libyas? Surely not. So why not transition this through, first of all, vetting the people who are there now to see if they've been involved in war crimes, and if not, then they're eligible to stand for office, and help Libya construct a representative government. It doesn't have to be our form of democracy.
Sure. General Clark, just real quickly here, if I could. The United States, I mean, we had attacked earlier before. There were airstrikes that reportedly had killed one of Gaddafi's adopted daughters. Since that moment, he did become he was weakened, but then he became stronger. How do we know that these kind of airstrikes this go round isn't going to produce the same results, say, 5, 10 years later, it becomes another very powerful leader again?
Well, this is always a concern. But the point is that many world leaders have said he's lost his legitimacy. His people have risen up in arms. That's prima facie evidence he's lost his legitimacy.
Okay.
So I think it is the responsibility of the United Nations, under the responsibility to protect agreement that was endorsed, to go in there and sort this out.
Okay. General Clark, thank you for your perspective. We'll be following this very closely. Thank you, General.